Documenting life can seem easy for someone who isn't doing it yet. You are just filming yourself while doing common stuff, living a regular life, like having breakfast. But life can be as predictable. This week, we are installing optical fiber for internet at home, and it's a total mess. I had to empty the bookshelf and move it to make space on the wall where the fiber socket would go. For me, if you want to help me, take me out of my routine. I can't stand the upheaval. And in the middle of this chaos, I had to record my daily life too. So there I was, gritting my teeth, telling myself this would be a good piece for my next YouTube video when things got even harder. As I was shooting the video, I noticed the fluid head of my tripod was jamming and couldn't turn the dial. It wouldn't get stiffer on the tilt axis. And of course, I hate having things that don't work at 100% of their potential. Another problem on top of the problems I already had to solve, both in regular life and in documenting it. This week, I took my usual morning walk along the city waterfront. I noticed that now, in spring, the sky has more pink and purple than in winter. Maybe that happens in winter too, but at that hour in winter, it's still dark. Anyway, the sky is definitely a nicer thing to look at compared to apartment buildings. The weather here in Greece is already starting to feel like spring. Some mornings the temperature starts in double digits and we don't need to dress so warmly anymore. The number of people walking so early in the city by the sea has grown. For the seafront to have that many people in winter, it'd be at least 2 hours later. I would definitely prefer walking alone on the waterfront. I also noticed more birds these days, especially green parrots, which lately seem to have multiplied. I've heard they started coming from Africa years ago, acclimatized, and now have their own populations in Thessaloniki. Morning walks have become an essential part of my daily life now. Although sometimes I'll walk in the evening too, nothing compares to the morning walk. Luckily, not many share that opinion, so the few of us on Thessaloniki's waterfront so early in the morning enjoy a peaceful view of the city. Meeting my parents for the morning walk every Saturday is part of my weekly routine, just like I try to make daily life documentation part of that routine. I'd say they follow a specific schedule all week too, so it's no surprise I've picked up this habit. But my Saturdays aren't just about walking, they're also the days I do the family's grocery shopping. So this Saturday, after the walk, I had to go to the street market where I'd buy fruits, vegetables and fish, then head to the bakery and finally wrap up this shopping tour by stopping at the butcher. I've often thought about staying longer at the waterfront to enjoy the sunrise, but the more I wait, the more traffic there'll be on the road, and the more crowded the market gets. So I enjoyed driving on relatively empty streets. I definitely took half the time I'd have needed if I had done the shopping 1 or 2 hours later. When I visit a street market, I have a pretty clear idea of what I want to buy, so I rarely pick up anything extra. Before leaving home, I check the fridge to know what's missing. After dropping the first batch of shopping in the car, it was the bakery's turn. It's a bakery I only visit on Saturdays because of the street market. I often run into a lot of people and have to wait in line. This Saturday, luckily, it wasn't too busy. I just had to wait for the 2 customers already inside to finish. I don't like crowds, so I usually wait patiently outside the shop. After 10 years of budgeting without missing a single day, I know pretty well how much money I'll spend this Saturday too. Recording my daily expenses reminds me a bit of recording and documenting my daily life on video. I generally like organization and having a record to look back on, so I can better predict the future. For example, I know that at this time of year, when expensive fruits like cherries, strawberries, and grapes aren't out yet, I won't spend more than 30 or 40 euros at the market. Fish, though, are always pricey every season. My mother always told me, don't rush. The older I get, the more I understand her. But I'm still at an age where I feel I don't have time. I hurry to finish my tasks so I can get to what I want to do. But this Saturday, I listened to her advice a bit more and didn't rush to set up the camera. I think when I don't feel time pressure, I do everything better. Of course, that pressure is subjective. I put it on myself. So this Saturday, I took a deep breath and said, let me spend a little more time to get a better composition and framing for this shot. It will make me smile a bit when I sit down to edit this episode of my series about life in Greece. The butcher was the last stop on my Saturday shopping list. Luckily, I was early enough here too, and I avoided the usual crowd I assume builds up later because it's Saturday. Naturally, I didn't skip entering the expense into my budget, and now it was finally time to head home. The weekend overall went calmly with nothing special happening. So I'd spend most of my hours either with my family or in front of the computer. For 8 years now, I've been driving my little one to school on weekdays. I've done this route so many times I could do it with my eyes closed. Not that I would, of course. I think routine helps kids have order in their lives too, and growing up like that, I believe it will become a way of life. For now, I've made it a way of life to record our drive to school at least once a week. This week, I filmed 3 different mornings when we went to school, each with a slightly different sky.
Έχει έρθει και η μηχανή από δίπλα, όλοι με κοιτάνε. Και λένε, τι κάνει αυτός ο κύριος με το παιδί του μέσα στο αυτοκίνητο και την κάμερα.
These episodes definitely won't win an award for continuity. At least I wear the same jacket most times, so I could pass it off as the same day. Documenting life often puts you in these thoughts. How will I tie this scene to the next? Should I keep wearing the same clothes to also avoid decision fatigue? Why record this route again when I've done it countless times? And what new story can I tell with almost the same images? How many different angles can I show the speedometer from behind the wheel? But even if the days feel the same, every day is different. And these are the memories I want to save with my documentation. To look back someday and see how I lived my life before I see it flash before my eyes for the last time. This week I had a coupon for 70% off a spinach pie at the supermarket. Although I'm not crazy about that one, it was still great value for money. No, it's not that I don't have money and need to budget. Even if I had millions, I would still budget. When you learn to budget with little money, it only helps you when you have more in the future. And even then, I would still count every cent. Not because I'm short, but because I like having a plan, a schedule, and having everything recorded and documented. After shopping, I earned another 70% off coupon. This time it was for my favorite cheese kuluri. Win-win. Value for money and something I would buy even without a coupon. So they'll definitely see me back at the supermarket in the next few days. This week my days were almost the same. Walking, school, then home for breakfast. I generally can't skip breakfast. Since I completely cut out dinner, I feel huge hunger in the morning. But even when I ate at night, I still had breakfast. That's how I ended up over 105 kilos. In recent years, another kind of recording I do is tracking my weight and calories daily. I haven't missed a day of writing down what and how much I've eaten. Since calorie tracking helped me lose about 20 kilos, I now keep recording calories out of habit. It's become part of my routine, my way of life at 45. Although I wasn't trying to lose more weight since I lost that weight, last week I started aiming for a 1,000 calorie deficit per day again. And I was really happy to complete a whole week hitting that goal, even if I went over the limit just for one day. I hope I can keep it up next week too, but for now I had to fix the tripod if I wanted to keep showing you my life in Greece. I tried hard to unstick the fluid head, but I worried I might damage it more and end up with no fluid head at all. So I turned to the internet experts. To people, not artificial intelligence. There I read a thread where others had faced the same problem as me. Some had fixed it by giving the lever a small tap with the rubber back of a hammer. I had nothing to lose by trying it too. Thanks to the internet, the tripod problem turned out to be a simple one to solve. So I could keep documenting my life's real problems like before, having fixed just one more little technical glitch. Life is a game full of small and big problems. The more you solve, the better you get, I think. And problems need to be tackled head-on, not avoided. The reward for solving problems comes right after the problem. For me, the reward for all of my live documenting, apart from making lasting memories, is an upward graph in YouTube Analytics, or even a badge we earned this week. Small problems, small wins. Big problems, big wins. And the small wins add up to bigger ones. This week in my life in Greece, I solved the tripod's little problem so I can keep showing how I tackle life's bigger problems. After all, aren't we all problem solvers in real life?